First case we have tonight was a continued case from January. It is the Yates addition to Hoover.
All right. So starting with the active cases, S092536, Yates addition to Hoover. This property is zoned R1. Sorry. And it is located at 232 Caliente Drive in Martinwood Estates. The purpose of this plat is to adjust the property line dividing Lot 1, Block 2 of Martinwood Estates, first sector, and Lot 21, Block 2 of Martinwood Estates, fourth sector. Staff recommends that the applicant request a continuance so that all comments can be addressed. And if no continuance request is forthcoming, staff recommends denial.
So how many, I think we only do this continuance 3 times, right? How many times have we done this one?
There are no limitations on the number of times you can ask for a continuance on a subdivision case. We have continued this one since September, I believe.
That's right.
So what's the story?
Well, I actually had a conversation briefly with the surveyor this afternoon, and they did communicate to me that they are wanting this to be continued again. They're coordinating with the property owner as to how to proceed.
Okay. You're not recommending that we turn it down? You're recommending we continue?
When those comments were crafted on Friday and Thursday of last week, we had not yet heard from the surveyor in this particular case. The surveyor got in touch with us this afternoon asking for this one to be continued.
Okay. Any questions on this one? Okay. Let's go to the next one.
S012601 Everly Phase F. This property is zone plan unit development PUD. The property is located in the west of Everly Parkway, north of Everly Phase 1C. The purpose of this is to create, the plat is to create 42 residential lots, 2 multifamily lots, and 3 common area lots. Staff recommends approval contingent on Revo Crescent being platted as a private right-of-way in this phase, Phase 1F. A preliminary plat and construction of the remainder of Everly Parkway and the gated connection to Orchard Avenue being performed so that the final plats for Phase 1F and the remainder of Everly Parkway are considered at the same time. The applicant, we need the applicant to address the technical comments that are marked up on the plan set as well.
So we need to hear from him.
Sir?
We need to hear from him tonight? You're saying you want to hear from the comments on the plat? You want to hear
Or
it tonight,
no,
or you
sorry.
want-
I just mean that we want the applicant to agree to address the comments on the plan set.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair, just a note on the second contingency, that there be a preliminary plat and construction plan submitted for Everly Parkway. According to the plan unit development, as the developer moves on from the area designated as the village center for the Everly plan unit development, the remainder of the parkway is to be completed. And that connection point between the parkway and the stub out of Orchard Avenue and Ross Bridge is to be gated initially. The PUD ordinance stipulated that should the school system utilize property donated to them within the Everly PUD be utilized for school facilities, that the gate would be removed or left open. But initially, it would be gated for emergency services and other public uses, well, not public uses, governmental uses. And so this Phase 1F is the last phase of the Village Center sector of the Everly PUD. Spoken with the developer concerning the time frame for the preliminary plat, construction, and final plat of the Everly Parkway, and they were agreeable to that time frame.
Okay. Any questions on this one?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I do have a quick question. It's not directly related to site Phase 1F, but it is related to Everly Parkway and Highway 150. Do we have an update on when the traffic signal controlling that area is supposed to be in place?
We're working on an update right now with the developer, so we should be able to have that to you in a day or two, definitely by the end of the week, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions?
On the first comment, the Rivo Crescent being platted as a private right-of-way, it is being designed to standard details and will be accepted as a public street in the future, though, correct?
That's right, with the pavement structure and so forth. That one is the one that's got, I'm sorry, I can't see. I believe it's got parking on it is the reason. It's got the parking there for that center. And so to be consistent with what we've done for the streets that have parking on them, we've tried to make those not be public streets so that the city's not resurfacing parking for a private development.
Also say that the use that's contemplated for Lot A1, the proposal at this time is for that to be an assisted living facility, smaller scale facility. And there are some, at least in the conceptual phase, some turnouts, pickup, drop-off areas associated with that are a little outside of the norm for what would be directly adjacent to and connecting with a public street. So in order to, in our opinion, simplify the maintenance responsibilities along that stretch, i.e. not have city tax dollars going in and maintaining that stretch, that it would be platted as a private right-of-way. And the developer has agreed to that.
Okay.
So are you talking about just that one block? Revo Crescent between Sage Street and Everly?
There's a segment there as well as a stub out in Phase 1E. That's also, I believe, privately maintained.
So I want to make sure I understand what Rosemary said earlier. That it's to be private now with the intent that later becomes public?
No.
That didn't make sense.
No, I was saying, sorry, I may have misspoke, but we don't want that to be public because we don't want to use tax dollars to be maintaining parking for a private development. And Mac's absolutely right with the drop-off. That's not shown here, but in some preliminary drawings, it would be a really awkward configuration to connect to a public right-of-way where you delineate that. Just because of because of the parking, the angle parking there, and because of the other component with the drop-off. That's why.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions? All right, let's keep moving.
Okay, S012603 Hagwoods Resurvey. This is zone PR1, planned residential, and the property is located at 1330 Greystone Crest. And the purpose of the application is to combine lots 11 and 12. Staff recommends approval contingent on adding a note to the plat that no structures are allowed to be built within easements, and the submittal of the final signed Mylar.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, let's keep moving.
Next up, we have a conditional use case that carried over from last month. This is for a drive-through food service restaurant located on Highway 31 at the River Chase Plaza Shopping Center. The address, 1855 Montgomery Highway. And this particular user is interested in having a portion of the shopping center, the parking field in front, subdivided off and utilized for the fast casual drive-through service. As we see on the overhead, dual lane fast food service. And city staff have reviewed this particular case and have the following recommendation. That it be recommended, we recommend approval contingent on the following: that if any queuing were to back up onto US Highway 31, the operator will amend ingress egress to the satisfaction of the city engineer. Any new site lighting incorporated on this particular portion of the site match existing lighting of the shopping center as closely as possible. Third, signs to be applied for separately and meet the requirements of the River Chase PUD. Next, we have the site and building to be planned and constructed in substantial conformity with the conditional use plans. Next, the property be subdivided prior to permitting, and upon subdivision, landscaping on the master site be restored. And next, we have that the operator obtain a business license prior to operation. This particular area is designated for mixed use and commercial development according to the comprehensive plan. We have reviewed the proposed lot size, and it appears to meet the zoning requirements pending conditional use approval of this particular use. Just some additional notes. Skipper performed a traffic analysis, and according to that analysis, concludes that the site can handle the traffic generated by the use, and they are not recommending any improvements at this time. We've acknowledged receipt of that traffic analysis, and just so that we have adequate coverage, that's why we included within our conditions that if we do run into an issue whereby traffic starts to jam up the access drive into the shopping center or 31, that they come back to the city engineer and redesign and reroute their drive-through traffic. They do have some options available to them. At the onset, there's ingress egress directly onto the access to the shopping center, the service road coming into the shopping center. They also have access designed into the existing parking aisles to the south or page right on the site plan. So again, traffic analysis says that this will operate and function without any issues, but just to be on the safe side, we'd like to have a condition on there stating that if there is any kind of issue with the access and how the drive-through traffic is being routed, that they come back and, to the satisfaction of the city engineer, reroute it.
Got a question.
Okay.
If they have to reroute, do they have the ability to have the ingress egress on the rest of that parking lot? The way I look at it, it doesn't show that. I mean, if they're gonna have ingress egress, they're gonna have it on this map in the future, correct? Because they could, the owners of the property around them could stop them from doing that particular function.
As of right now, the owner of the shopping center still owns this site.
Yeah, I understand now, but once they sell it off, it's gonna resurvey it and sell it off. they won't be able to control their access if they have to redo it, if they don't have an ingress egress easement already set up in place all the way around.
That's right. We will be looking for a shared access and parking easement when the subdivision plat comes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, Mac, has the River Chase Business Association been involved in any of the reviews, or are they aware of this development? Okay.
They are aware of it, and at least to this point, we've received word that the RBA finds what they have submitted acceptable, both the use and the layout, as well as the architectural features of and the material schedule for the exterior of the building.
Do they have, I know our homeowners, River Chase Homeowners Association, we have approvals that have to be provided to the city, et cetera. Does the RBA have that also? Like, do we need to, stipulate that approval by the RBA needs to be obtained?
We do communicate with each and every applicant that comes in, that it's our recommendation that they go to the RBA first and get their blessing on the development, be it the architectural aesthetic side or the operational side, which my understanding is RBA does have some say over the layout of a site. And to my knowledge, this particular case has done that. They have gone to the RBA.
So we don't need to get any official form or letter or anything. Like I said, I don't know how the RBA works, but the homeowners has, an actual approval form. So yeah, okay, that's good.
Mr. Chair, one question. Are we aware of any prior conditional use for a drive-through applications at this shopping center?
I'm not aware of any right offhand. We could go back. Are you asking specifically about this portion of the site, a similar layout, or?
Just generally for this site, I guess because it strikes me as a little bit odd that this particular site is one of the only places on that side of Highway 31 that doesn't have a drive-through. So I just wondered if there was some historical basis for that.
Not right offhand. I'm not aware of any.
I don't think so.
I suppose that part of the reason you didn't have a building pad
But it has a drive.
developed out specifically for a drive-through use, all of this space was developed out for parking, and the initial anchor tenant being Walmart. I'm sure they wanted to preserve as much of that parking field as they could. Of course, users have changed. Use of the parking area has changed to a point where this sector of it is largely vacant the vast majority of the time. And so as I think a combination of things, as the shopping center has aged, as the properties around have developed out, and there's less what we'll call greenfield new site development potential, developers are starting to look at underutilized spaces like this and go through the process to try to put a use to them. So that's just what I observe in this particular case.
Thank you.
Mac, the comment about landscaping on the master site seems vague to me. Have you detailed out for the applicant what, it says to be restored at the time of subdivision, restored to what exactly? Have y'all worked that out?
We have the minimum standards of the River Chase Plan Unit development. Our landscape architect has been working with the engineer and landscape architect on this particular project, and we made them aware that that was one of the items that we were going to look at. Our landscape architect actually has a substantial amount of knowledge in the history of this site, and there was at one point in time where, according to him, it was upheld as kind of a standard for shopping center development and how you landscape them. And there are a number of planters and other spaces around the site that used to have trees that would meet the landscape standards of River Chase, and over time, those have been taken down, haven't been replaced. And so, yes, we have been in conversation with the engineer and the owner concerning that particular condition, and it would be to restore to the minimum standards of River
original
Chase.
Landscape plan. Okay, thank you.
But it doesn't comply with the current standards because that was built before the landscape ordinance that we had went in place. It was just the River Chase ordinance, correct?
River Chase ordinance is a little different than what we enforce for our base zoning. They do both ask for different things as it relates to tree conservation. Since this is the planned unit development, the landscape section for River Chase is separate and apart from our Article 13. So these are the River Chase standards are the standards we would adhere to today for any new development on the site.
It is an intense amount of landscaping going in for a single out parcel. I mean, there's over 20 trees alone specced in there. It's a lot of landscaping. Just from being a landscape architect, that is a lot on an out parcel.
It'll be greatly improved from a tree conservation standpoint.
Any other questions? Okay, let's move on.
All right, 13S, S022604 Wren Park subdivision. This property is zone PI, planned industrial, located at 245-2194 River Chase Parkway East. The purpose of this final plat is to subdivide an existing office development into 4 lots. Staff recommends approval contingent on the following. If the covenants are revised to include a dissolution of the portion of the agreement pertaining to access and parking, this must be approved by a city council resolution. Any revised covenants must be approved by the city attorney and recorded prior to the plat being recorded. Address technical comments on the plat and final signed Mylar being submitted.
Okay. Any questions on this one?
Just a quick one. Are the covenants being requested in lieu of ingress and access easements on the plat?
What was submitted to our office from the engineer/surveyor for this particular project had a number of covenants that they were binding all of the lots into. Okay. A portion of that related to access and parking. Access is going to be granted across the entire site to the benefit of each of the owners. Parking is only going to take place some parking on Lot 2D for the benefit of Lot 2B. And at least to have the access and parking component in line with the zoning ordinance and what it states needs to be in place regarding shared parking and access. We need it included within that it can only be dissolved by a resolution of the council. And looking at the plat itself, there is so much activity going on as far as easements for utilities and setbacks, and we feel like additional information directly on the plat related to access and parking may make it even noisier.
Gotcha.
But I think having a copy of those executed and recorded covenants on file with the shared parking and access component would suffice for our needs.
That answer your question?
In a roundabout
Yeah.
way, yes.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, Dr. Maris, keep going.
Okay, S022605 Everly Phase 5B Sector 2 Resurvey Number 1. This property is zoned Plan Unit Development PUD. and it is located at 4595 Linton Drive in Everly. And the purpose of the plat is to create storm easements on lots 6113A to 6117A. Staff recommends approval.
Any questions? Okay, let's keep moving.
S 022606 Black Ridge South, Phase 12. This property is zoned PUD, PR1, and this is located at the end of Black Ridge Parkway. The purpose is to create 22 residential lots and 3 common area lots. Staff recommends approval contingent on the applicant submitting surety in the amount of $280,750 for the remaining improvements.
Any questions on this one? Okay, let's keep moving.
SO 22607 Cahaba Forest Preserve Resurvey. This is zone PR1, planned residential. This is located at 2448 International Park Place. This is a final plat to correct the legal description of the previously recorded plat, and staff recommends approval.
Any questions on this one? Okay. We got a few minutes before 6. I got about 2 more minutes. I'd like to call the February 2nd, 2026 Planning and Zoning meeting to order. And before I call roll, I'd like to make a couple announcements. I want to introduce 3 new members. We've got Brian Munger, that's a new city administrator. We have Scott Underwood, who's been on it once before and he's back on. and Sanjay Patel. Welcome, and we're glad to have you here. Looking forward to working with you. That's the first now. Second announcements are we are now streaming, and we've been instructed to talk into the microphones better because they're not hearing us as well. So if y'all would please try to talk into the microphone, and I'll do the same. I'd like to see if the secretary will call roll now.
Ms. Peace,
Here?
Ms. Driver,
Here.
Mr. Munger,
Here.
Mr. Patel,
Here.
Mr. Reed, Mr. Underwood,
Here.
Mr. Weisman,
Here.
Ms. White,
Here.
Mr. Wood.
Here. I'd like to see if Ms. White would lead us in the invocation, please.
Sure. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together in a free and democratic society to examine the business of the city. And we ask that you would give us wisdom as we consider each application this evening, and we ask for your blessings on those who are building businesses and lives in our city. We ask for your blessings also on our city leadership. These things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Ms. Peace, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Prior to this meeting, each one of the commissioners were given minutes for the January 5th and January 15th meetings. If there are no changes in the minutes, I'll entertain a motion to approve as they are written.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Tonight, we have 4 cases that have been withdrawn. The cases are C 122514. It's a conditional use approval for the operation of a liquor store on Medford Drive. The second case is C 0226-03. It's a conditional use approval for a car wrapping and window tinting business at 2132 Lorna Ridge Lane. The third case is C 0226-04. It's a conditional use approval to operate an event gallery space at 2132 Lorna Ridge Lane. And the last case is a zoning case at Z 0226-01. It's a rezone of property located at 2132 Lorna Ridge Lane from C2 commercial district from C4 to commercial district C2. So these cases have been withdrawn, which means that if they want to apply for any reason they withdrew, all notices will have to be sent out. So if you got a notice last time, you'll get a notice this time because they were withdrawn. Any questions on what I just said? Okay, the next 4 cases have been continued. These cases are S 102545, preliminary map approval for the Black Ridge commercial lots. S 122550, it's a Birch Tree Swim and Racket Club. S 012602, Collier Valley Black Ridge Parkway. Preliminary map approved for the Collier Valley Black Ridge Parkway located at 3721 Stadium Trace Parkway. And the last one would be a conditional use C 022605, Alabama Merchants Association 900 Concourse Parkway. It's for a conditional use to approve the operator a community center at the property located at 900 Concourse Parkway in River Chase. Those 4 cases will be heard next month. If you have an interest in those cases, they will be heard on March the 2nd at 6 o'clock. No new notices will go out. So if you have an interest in those cases, be here March the 2nd at 6 o'clock. Any questions to what I've just said? Okay. A lot of times, we'll have a lot of subdivision cases that we'll vote on and then block, but since we have so many different types of subdivision cases, I think we'll vote on them individually tonight, because we have so many different variations of them. So the first case we have tonight is S 092536, Yates Addition to Hoover. Yates Addition to Hoover, located at 232 Caliente Drive, Martinwood Estates. And the staff has some comments they want to make.
Mr. Chair, we did receive a request from the surveyor who applied and submitted this particular application. They wish to continue to next month.
Okay? Any questions from anybody on the planning commission? Anybody in the audience? I'll entertain a motion to continue.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Second subdivision case tonight is S 012601, Everly Phase 1F. Preliminary map approval for Everly Phase 1F. The purpose of this request is to create 42 residential lots and 2 multifamily and 3 common area lots. And staff has some comments they'd like to make on this one also.
Revo Crescent in this phase should be platted as private right-of-way. A preliminary plat and the construction of the remainder of Everly Parkway and the gated connection to Orchard Avenue needs to be performed in a manner so that the final plats for Phase 1F and the remainder of the parkway are considered at the same time, and the applicant needs to address the technical comments that are on the plan set.
Okay.
I'm Bob Easley with Alabama Engineering, 1214 Alford Avenue. We're fine with the comments. The staff sent those to us, and my client reviewed those and is satisfied with those. And just to answer there's a planned assisted living called the Hedrick House that's planned for that lot on the right, the big lot on the right. And it's for people who are physically handicapped. And there's planned to have a drop-off there, which was why staff recommended that that be platted as a private road, because there may be some conflict with an overhang for covered drop-off on that one. And so we're okay with that. And there's some minor comments on the plan review that we're happy to make. And we will bring a preliminary plat for the extension of Everly Parkway all the way to Orchard soon. And we understand that we can't get a final plat on 1F without a final plat on the Parkway extension.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from planning commission? Anybody in the audience? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve case S-0126-01 with staff comments.
Motion to have a second. I have a second. Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next subdivision case tonight is S 012603, Haywoods, resurvey, Hagwoods, resurvey property located at 1330 Greystone Crest. The purpose of this request is to combine lots 11 and 12 into one lot. Staff comments as it proves contingent on the following. Add a note that no structures are to be built in the easements, and submittal of the final signed Mylar. Who's here representing this case? Come down and give us your name and address, please, sir.
My name is Brian Krogsgaard, Wygant Surveyors, 173 Oxmoor Road in Homewood, Alabama.
Okay. You're aware of the staff comments about no structure in the easements and the,
Yes, I am.
okay, and then you got a submittal for the final signed Mylar?
Yes.
That's signed?
It is signed by the surveyor. There's some, it needs to rotate through, but it's ready for you guys. We talked to Mac about it beforehand.
You understand that if it passes, it's conditioned on those two?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions from the planning commission? Anybody in the audience? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve case number S-0126-03 with staff comments.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Good luck to you. Next case is a conditional use case. It's C-012601. It's a conditional use approval for the allow of the drive-through facility for the Dutch Brothers Coffee to be located at 1855 Montgomery Highway in River Chase. And I think staff's got some questions, some comments they'd like to make on this one.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we've reviewed the application, and we do have a positive recommendation on it, but with multiple contingencies or conditions. The first, that if any queuing backs into US 31, operator will amend the ingress egress to the satisfaction of the city engineer. 2, any new lighting on the site shall match existing lighting in the shopping center as closely as possible. 3rd, signs to be applied for separately and meet the requirements of the River Chase Plan Unit Development. Next, we have the site and building to be planned and constructed in substantial conformity to the conditional use plans. Next, we have the properties to be subdivided prior to permitting. Next, we have landscaping on the master site to be restored to the minimum requirements of the River Chase Plan Unit Development at time of subdivision. And lastly, we have the operator obtain business license prior to operation. We'll note that the the comprehensive plan supports mixed use and commercial development in the vicinity.
Okay. Who's here representing this case? Give us your name and address, please, sir.
I'm Bob Easley with Alabama Engineering, 1214 Alford Avenue. This is currently a big empty piece of parking lot in the Hobby Lobby parking lot at the Plaza at River Chase. We have a Dutch Brothers Coffee, Dutch Brothers national company. They've got 1,000 restaurants nationwide. We would like to take some of that excess parking, as we discussed earlier. This used to be a Walmart, and it was way overparked. And with the changes that we're proposing, we still have more than 70 excess parking spaces on the remainder of the parcel, and we have about 15 extra parking spaces on the Dutch Brothers parking site itself. We had a study done by Skipper Consulting on queuing. They took drone and flew over some existing Dutch Brothers, counted queuing. We have about 100% more queuing than is required at the other Dutch Brothers. And there's enough queuing in there for 22 cars before it gets out of the drive-through lane. And if needed, we have enough room for 20 more cars of queuing on our lot without even getting outside. So I don't think, the Dutch Brothers folks hope that there's a queuing problem because they'll be selling so much coffee they won't know what to do. But anyway, I think the answer is we have a contingency plan, and there is an agreement that there will be cross-access and parking allowances between the Dutch Brothers lot and the remainder of the Plaza at River Chase lot. Just to answer, I heard there were questions about the parking, the landscaping. If you go out there now, there's a bunch of little parking islands with nothing in them. They used to have holly bush or something in them, and so when we met with MAC and staff 6 months ago, and basically they said it's below standards now. It's basically, we're going to go out there and everything that's dead or not up to standards, we're going to plant a new tree there, whatever it is, to bring it back up to River Chase standards.
Okay. Any questions? Anybody in the audience? Okay. Come down. We need to get your name and address and find out what you got in mind, sir.
I'm Nathan Parvin. My wife is Wendy Parvin. We're co-owners of Baba Java Coffee. And the address we have 2 Hoover locations. Our address for
For the one we're talking about, it's 4730 Chase Circle. It's directly across 31 from the proposed Dutch Brothers.
So we believe that Dutch Brothers is a great coffee company. And they could add value to Hoover, absolutely. There's a reason that this wasn't zoned to be drive-through at this area, okay? Logistically, in that plaza at River Chase, there's two lights there, right? And so there's one in and one out. The one that's right next to where it's a right turn only that comes out of where Uncle G's is right now, where the Chinese restaurant was that just recently closed, and it's right turn only. We believe there's several problems that this could cause for the River Chase area and the Chase Lake area, the big residential areas there. We think it's going to add a lot extra congestion to the area, especially if there's a drive-through. Dutch Brothers is great, but why don't they just go to where there's already existing drive-through area they could go to? We would love for them to do that. We think it's going to negatively impact the traffic patterns, especially in the morning, especially for the Chase Lake residential area that's right just adjacent to that, and to River Chase in general. The other shopping centers across from it, it's going to negatively impact that traffic-wise and logistic-wise. We think a lot of the residents that we've talked to in Chase Lake, I thought someone would be here today, they really don't like the idea of a big drive-through, turn in, turn out, basically just people coming in on commutes, going in and out, and not positively impacting the Hoover community like what we do with our coffee locations. We have two in Hoover and other places in the metro area also. We opened in 2018, and we intentionally chose this exact environment because it already curated in this River Chase Lake area. We made a business decision to locate here without drive-through restaurants, and a lot of the other businesses in that area chose this area particularly because there wasn't that congestion and other drive-throughs like that. And so that's the whole reason we chose it, and many of the other businesses that have positively impacted Hoover and the community. We think it's going to change the infrastructure, it's going to change the character. It's going to negatively impact the community building that we've spent many years doing. My wife grew up in Hoover. Her family lived in River Chase. She grew up there. She graduated from the old Berry High School, and then her sister did too, and her younger sister graduated from the new Hoover High School when it opened. And so we've lived in several different neighborhoods in Hoover, and we just really put all of our heart and soul in Hoover, and I think this is really going to negatively impact many of the businesses around there, the residential areas, and it's going to negatively impact our coffee company, which we've had but it's also going to negatively impact Dutch Brothers. They're not going to be as successful because we've been there for a long time. We just think all around that this is a really bad idea, and we really implore you to please keep it like it is, so there's no drive-through area in this area.
We feel like there's plenty of holes for coffee in Hoover.
Get your name too.
I'm sorry, I'm Brad Haynes. Sorry, Vice President of Operations. We feel like there's holes in Hoover that don't have coffee. Even down 31, there's plenty of places. And so we feel like this is creating unnecessary competition that doesn't need to be there. And, again, we're locally owned. Dutch Bros out of Oregon. Again, I know there will be locally managed here, but, we know Hoover. We know, as Nathan said, we've created a great community of clients and customers, and they love our space. And so we just don't want to see any negative impact to the space, whether it's competition with us or traffic or whatever. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? You want to talk about traffic a little bit?
Based on ITE numbers, the Skipper report projects 42 peak hour trips in and out to this site. Typically, your coffee, this kind of morning traffic is going to be, the peak's going to be in the morning, and it generally goes the same direction as the traffic. And so the people coming north on Highway 31 are going to go in the right in, right out, loop through the Dutch Brothers, go back out the right in, right out. It's got great access to Highway 31. I understand it's going to create competition for other business in the area, but I think from a traffic standpoint, a zoning standpoint, there's 42 extra trips on Highway 31 in the AM peak is it's not generating a lot of cross traffic, so it's generally going to be a bunch of right-ins and right-outs.
Okay.
Mr. Easley,
Yes.
I've never been to a Dutch Brothers. Just look at the square footage. Is there seating inside? It's so
No.
small.
No, it's a double drive-through and a walk-up. So
Okay.
the required parking is 5. It's less than 1,000 square feet. The required parking count is 5 spaces. We've got 19 or 20 parking spaces in there. And it's mostly,
So it seems like a different business model from a Baba Java. That's a coffee shop, a sit down, relax with a friend, have conversation. It's just kind of it's a different beast, it seems. They both sell coffee, but
most of this is going to be drive-through, people, picking up on their way to work.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, yes, I do have a couple of questions. Do we have a copy of the traffic study?
it's in the packet.
Can you tell me how broad the study is in terms of, does it look at the Chase Lake neighborhood and any impacts of ingress and ingress across the street?
It does not. It addressed 3 items after we discussed with staff. It addressed queuing, it addressed traffic generation and directional distribution, which is about 50-50 north and south. It was not a full traffic study like you would have for a major development. It didn't address intersection capacity, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a relatively small user relative to Highway 31, and it's a 1,000 square foot business in a 130,000 square foot shopping center. So we felt like a full traffic study wasn't necessary. And like I said, most of according to Daryl Skipper, most of this kind of business traffic is going to be going with the traffic flows. People going to work will stop by and get coffee. There's 2 signals that the intersection that you see on the screen is a right in, right out. 600 feet south, there is a full intersection, signalized intersection. And then Data Drive, which is maybe 800 feet or so, maybe 1,000 feet north, is a full signalized intersection. So if there is traffic coming from southbound 31, you can't turn left into that. There's a median, well, there's not a median there, but you can't turn left there. There's a median right in the middle of that, right in, right out. So across the street from Chase Drive, there's Data Drive. It's a full signalized intersection with left turn lanes. And at Chase Circle and the entrance to the Hobby Lobby Center, there is a full signalized intersection with left turn lanes. So we felt like there was, the traffic question seems to be very minor relative to the capacity of the road and the businesses around there. That's the right in, right out where we think most of the traffic will come in. And you can see, right now, if you go out there, typically there's people just parked there, they park trucks there. There's nothing in those parking spaces.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got a question. So, Mac, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm trying to confirm, as of now, up to this point, the River Chase PUD has not had a drive-through present within the River Chase PUD boundary. Is that correct?
No,
the
ma'am.
the Arby's that used to be on Valleydale Road right by the interstate, is that part of the River Chase PUD?
Arby's, that location's in the River Chase PUD. You have just north of this site,
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, the Steak and Shake, as well
Panda
as
Express. Panda Express.
the Panda Express site. So
Wendy's.
our zoning ordinance changed in 2020 timeframe, where the community wanted more oversight on drive-through restaurants. And so that, along with a couple of other uses like gas stations, were updated in the zoning ordinance, our use table, to be conditional uses. So There is a history of drive-through restaurants being in River Chase.
Okay.
There was the desire of the community and the council to have a little additional oversight with conditional use approval.
Okay. Just wanted to confirm that. Thank you.
Okay.
And I did one of the other questions that was asked was about River Chase Architectural Committee. We've gotten an email from them that I forwarded to Mac that said to approve our application. So we submitted building plans, site plans, sign plans, landscape plans, and we haven't got our formal piece of paper yet. We've got an email that says we are going to be approved from River Chase.
Got a question.
Yes, sir. Nope. There you go.
Sorry about that. As we're looking at it right now with increased traffic count, do you see a potential issue with vehicles exiting and people turning in?
I don't think so. There's the picture on the screen right there is a right turn lane into the shopping center. So and there's the lane that comes out. You can see in that picture. You know, there's 3 cars queued up to come out. There's a lot of access points to the shopping center, and so my short answer is cars come in and out all day. I think this is a relatively minor user compared to the overall count of the shopping center. I mean, it will add some to the shopping center traffic, but it's relatively minor in the grand scheme of things.
Mr. Easley, my recollection from the trip generation manual is that a land use of this sort would typically have, of their trips generated, 60 to 65% are pass-by trips. They're drawn out of the existing traffic stream. They stop, they get what they need, and they get back in. But I don't see it referenced in Mr. Skipper's memo. Does that reflect what your discussion with him was? Am I in the ballpark
My discussion
there?
with him was that typically the distribution people, the trips tend to go with the general direction of flow. So in the morning, people going northbound will turn right, go in. That's their peak time. The afternoon peak is 19 in, 20 out, which would be people coming home. And I think most of the trips in there are in the morning or the lunchtime. So I think overall, I think the afternoon you're going to see, based on this, I think probably most of those 19 or 20 would be left turns in. There's left turn lanes in on Highway 31 to turn. So, and I think it does. I don't think materially 19 or 20 trips in the peak hour in the afternoon isn't a lot of additional traffic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Anybody in the audience? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve case C-012-01-1855 Montgomery Highway, Dutch Brothers Coffee, with staff comments.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Good luck to you. Next case tonight is subdivision case S022604, Wren Park subdivision. Final map approval for Wren Park subdivision, plat number 2, located at 245, 2194 River Chase Parkway East. Purpose of this plat is to subdivide an existing office development into 4 lots. Staff has some comments they'd like to make.
Covenants are revised to include provision, so the dissolution of the portions of the access agreement pertaining to access and parking must be approved by resolution of the City Council. The revised covenants must be approved by the city attorney and recorded prior to the signing prior to the plat being recorded, address technical comments on the plat, final signed Mylar being submitted.
Okay. Who's representing this case?
My name's Garrett Prater. I'm with Gonzalez Strength Associates, 1550 Woods River Chase Drive, Hoover.
So you've heard staff comments? Do you
Yes,
have any
sir.
problems with any of the thing they've come up with?
Yeah, I've talked to my client through that, and they're fine with that.
Okay. Any questions from planning commission? Anybody in the audience? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve case number S0226-04 with staff comments.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Good luck to you. Next case is S022605, Everly Phase 5B, Sector 2, resurvey number 1. Final map approval for the Everly Phase 5B, Sector 2, resurvey number 1, located at 4595 Linton Drive in Everly. Its purpose is to create a storm easement on lots 6113A and 6117A. Staff recommends approval. Who's here representing this case?
Bob Easley.
Mr. Easley. Any comments on this case? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve case S0226-05.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next case is S022606, Black Ridge South, Phase 12. Final plat approval for the Black Ridge South, Phase 12. The purpose of this plat is to create 22 residential lots and 3 common area lots. Property zoned PUD, PR1. Staff comments approval contingent on the following. Applicant submits a surety in the amount of $280,750 for the remaining improvements. Who's representing this case?
Bob Easley.
Mr. Easley, you okay with the surety of $280,750?
Yes.
Okay. Any comments on this case? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve case S-0226-06 as staff comments and the surety amount as stated.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Last case we have tonight is S022607, Cahaba Forest Preserve resurvey, a final map approval to correct a legal description that was previously recorded plat. Staff comments and recommends approval. Who's here representing this case? Okay. Any questions on this case?
If we don't approve it, it'll come back again and again
I
and
know.
again
I know.
and again.
I don't think they have to be here, but so it's up to you. If anybody wants to make a motion on this case,
I'll make a motion to approve S-0226-07.
all right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. We're adjourned.